Hello and welcome back to the MMA Split Pick Show ahead of UFC in Charlotte, North Carolina, headlined by Jailton Almeida taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Two athletic heavyweights, one a knockout artist, the other a rising grappling phenom, headlining a sneaky good card, which rarely happens after a pay-per-view, but we are live on ABC in America. This is in front of a live crowd, so fireworks expected. Ian Gary versus Daniel Rodriguez, big fight standing out on the card. We've got Mackenzie Dern returning, taking on Angela Hill in a great grappler versus striker matchup. Some other fun fights dotted through. We'll be giving our picks and predictions for them right here, as we do every single week. I'm your host Matt, joined by host and producer Josh. We're coming off a bad week.
You're coming off a bad week.
You finished 7-5.
That's above 500. I'll take it.
I finished 6-6, which is 500. And
I would also have taken that, to be honest. We've had a bad run recently.
Nobody could have seen Drew Dober getting knocked out by Matt Frivola. All the experts were picking Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, we've had a lot of underdogs come good of late, but we should be able to kind of anticipate that a little better.
Well, we're hoping to do it right on this card.
Yeah.
I have not written my picks down, so I will just go first. But you've already sent your picks, so I know that you're not going to be changing anything.
I think that there's only a few fights that we might differ on this, to be honest.
Well, I'll be very surprised if we're different on the main event, which is where we're going to start here. Jairzinho taking on Jailton Almeida. Is he a light heavyweight? Is he a heavyweight? Nobody knows. But as I've said for the last few weeks, I now think all heavyweights are shit and it's a BS division. So why not school these motherfuckers? He is fighting one of the few guys that you do look at and go, yeah, you're really dangerous. It's like you, Pavlovich, Lewis. I can't really afford to make a mistake standing up, because if something lands, I'm going to have a really bad night. Yeah. The good news for Jailton Almeida is, based on what I've seen from his first few fights, he's not going to have too much of an interest in standing up. He's going to go straight for Jairzinho's weakness, which is grappling. And he's not going to fuck about with it.
No.
I could even see him just charging him. Like, fight starts, glove touch, takedown. Straight away. We know Jairzinho can't really handle being taken down. It's how he lost to Curtis Blades. It's how he lost to pretty much everybody that he's lost to, apart from Ngannou, who did kind of just fuck him up.
And Overeem with the comeback.
And Overeem with the... Well, Overeem was fucking him up and taking him down and just generally controlling him.
It was a round he needed to win. It was the
third round, wasn't it?
Overeem knocked him out.
No, he knocked Overeem out.
Oh, fuck.
In the dying seconds of the last round. In a fight that he was losing.
Too many edibles today. Yeah, no, I've completely got that one back around. Yeah, well, I remember it was a comeback. I just completely flipped 2-1 there.
Volkov obviously pieced him up.
Yep.
But Volkov is Volkov.
Well, this is the thing though. Almeida's been fighting as a light heavyweight against real heavyweights, but at a kind of lower level, and steamrolling them, but doing it in a way that you anticipate he could do to a lot of the ranked guys at heavyweight. He has committed to heavyweight now.
Yep.
He's really looking to fill out as a heavyweight. I think he's probably going to be the bigger guy in there in terms of like actual effective weight. Bigi Boy can be dangerous, but he's been fighting top level guys and being forced, like you say, like I can't make a mistake. He's got a bit more of a patient approach. Almeida might do him some favours by rushing in, but I think that the way Almeida's kind of been going, it's like why would he doubt himself at this stage? It's a huge step up, but I think he's gonna rush in with little respect for Bigi Boy. I think Bigi Boy's going to be wary of fucking up too early and might freeze a little bit. I could see this one going wrong very quickly.
Yeah. I don't think the 5 rounds is going to help Jairzinho. I think 5 rounds kind of freezes him a little bit. He gets worried about energy conservation.
Yeah.
This has got Jailton Almeida written all over it. I'm going with the hype. I'm picking Jailton. Probably inside of 3
minutes. I'm
3
thinking
rounds.
maybe inside of 3 minutes.
I'll say 3 rounds.
I'm taking Almeida.
Both for Almeida. Okay, next up, co-main event. It was originally going to be the main event of this card. They switched it up, which is just an example of how little love they give to Anthony Smith. But co-main, Anthony Smith, from his point of view, getting paid the same amount of money to take on Johnny Walker in a 3-round fight as he would have if he had to train for the extra 2 rounds. I really like Anthony Smith as a fighter, dude. If it was 5 rounds, I'd probably still pick him. Johnny Walker's that hyper freak athlete that can do things unorthodox, throw something that a more traditional fighter isn't expecting. I just have a bad feeling he's going to catch Anthony Smith and hurt him and knock him out early. I'm picking Johnny Walker against my better judgment and against my wishes.
It's possible. I think for Walker to land clean, you have to kind of make some basic mistakes, though. I've seen enough of Walker at this stage that I expect Smith to be prepared. I'm going Lionheart.
I hope I'm wrong on that one, because I like Anthony Smith.
It's a tough one to pick, man. It's a tough one to pick. I did think this is one of the ones where I was like, I'm not 100% sure where you're going to go. I'm going to go with Smith.
Well, talking about hard to pick, next up, feature fight, Daniel Rodriguez taking on Ian Gary. You want to talk about a guy taking a step up in quality.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because listen, Daniel Rodriguez, what he does well, he does well. But let's be honest, he's not fast. He's not explosive. He's not well rounded. He can grapple a little bit, but he's not somebody that's really excels in the grappling area. Aside from trying to keep fights on the ground so that he can land strikes.
No, but what he's good at is effective.
True. Ian Gary, you can see all the talents there. I think from a technical level, I think he's a better striker. I think he's faster. I think he throws in more combination. I think his footwork's a lot better. But I don't think Ian Gary's as good as Ian Gary thinks he is. And he gets himself in trouble in a couple of fights. He looked great in his debut, but he did get cracked a few times before he got the knockout in that fight. Then had a couple of fights where he comfortably won on decision, but he's going in there thinking he's going to be Conor McGregor, knock the guy out in 3 minutes, get a fight performance bonus, and shoot up the rankings. And what he actually experienced was, okay, I've got to make adjustments, I can't do this. Oh, that was a little harder than I expected. And then his last fight against, what was the guy's name?
It wasn't Gabe Green the last one, was it?
No, Keenan Song.
Yes, yeah.
Got dropped in the first round.
Yeah.
Being careless, not respecting the guy, and after he got dropped, adjusted brilliantly. Second 2 rounds, up until he got the finish, probably the best that we've seen from him, Gary. But against...
Yeah, if you get caught by D-Rod like that straight, you're not going to get afforded a lot of time to get your bearings back. He's going to be right on you. The reason he's caught you is because he's already kind of up against... Basically, if he can back Gary up into the fence enough times, if he can keep circling away and backing him up and forcing him to kind of forget where the fence is for a moment, I can see him catching him and really sort of putting him into a corner there. But I still think Gary technically, like you say, is the better fighter here. It's just he's a big guy. I don't think it's necessarily that he cuts a lot of weight, but just with the frame and everything, you sacrifice something, and part of it is the ability to take clean shots well. And being big does mean that when you overextend or finish up too far to your right or your left and kind of off balance, you do make quite a big hittable target. That's like similar to what we said with kind of how Jan Didoba would potentially play spoiler to Rodriguez. I think what D-Rod excels at could be very problematic for Gary in this one, just stylistically.
Listen, if Gary is arrogant, if he makes some of the mistakes we've seen him make in his first few UFC fights, D-Rod hits hard. I don't know how durable Ian Gary is. And one thing about D-Rod is you're fighting a guy who really isn't going to give too much of a shit if you're catching him.
Yeah.
The guy's been hit. He's fought in fucking prison. He's had prisoners say, yeah, this guy's one of the hardest fucking dudes that we ever saw in the fucking prison. And yet he also seems like a pretty chilled, nice fucking guy. That's not a guy that you break mentally. That's not a guy that like goes, oh, this isn't going my way.
The guy spars on mushrooms.
Yeah. I'm still picking Gary though, but this could be that fight where you learn a lesson that kind of makes you have to re-examine things a bit.
Yeah, I'm picking Gary too. I'm really surprised that Gary's the favourite on this one too.
He's undefeated.
And
D-Rod's coming off the loss to... Who did he lose to?
He lose to was it Sean Brady?
Was it Sean Brady?
Fuck, didn't Sean Brady get a good win before losing to
No, Neil Magny.
Oh fuck, man, that's it. Yeah, I'm definitely putting some money on D-Rod. I'm picking Gary for this, but that betting line begs for it.
Yeah, I understand you there. Let's move on to a tasty little fight at women's strawweight. Mackenzie Dern's back, taking on the always dangerous Angela Hill. Angela Hill made a lot of improvements in her grappling recently.
Yeah.
Has really been working at it. Way more technical a fighter on the feet than Mackenzie Dern. And one thing I would say is Mackenzie Dern is going to be approaching this fight for the first time lacking something that she's had throughout a lot of her career. Confidence. I think she took the loss to Yan pretty badly. I think not in a negative way, but I think it did break that kind of that self-belief that she'd been building up. Obviously, she had the loss to Marina.
She has also had to deal with things like, being kicked out of her gym and
the divorce.
Yeah, all the weight misses. So
the weight misses haven't happened for a while.
No, but you know what I mean. I've seen the mental change in her. I do think this loss would have had a big effect, but I'm not saying she's coming into this with confidence. I think you make a great point. I do wonder though, I don't know if it's maybe not the first time. I definitely feel like, I think it was at her debut when she'd had to change gyms. Or if not, it was her second fight in the UFC. And afterwards you could tell it really fucking meant something to her to actually get that win after that. Because some of that self-doubt was creeping in. Who knows though? And it's always different. And, you're at a point in your career where it all counts for so much more now. And I fucking love me some overkill too. But
this is a fight of geography, really. If Mackenzie Dern can get this fight to the ground for at least 2 of the rounds, she wins it, probably gets the sub. But Angela Hill, I think, will take advantage of the fact that Mackenzie's very sloppy standing up.
Yeah.
Charges in, swings aggressively, doesn't always set the takedowns up very well. It's very much I'm going to charge in, make contact, and when I've got my hands on you, I'll just make something happen. I don't know if that's going to be easy to implement against Angela Hill. You think about some of the elite fighters that she's had to deal with trying to take her down, control her. I'm still picking Mackenzie Dern, but...
Well, Dern's also got power. A bit of power for this weight class, and...
Oh, but dude, Angela Hill...
Angie can't
She
sit
stayed
there.
in the pocket with...
Yeah.
Andrade, man, trading punches. She can take a punch.
But when you have to worry about giving away a takedown as well...
Okay, stuff.
You have to adapt it. It's you can't... It's like saying with Cejudo and Sterling in the breakdown. Go watch that, like and subscribe. You can't make it easy for them to get to their wheelhouse. You have to adapt your striking style so that your takedown defense can be as effective, so you don't find yourself in a position where they're immediately in top and can go sub-hunting or start raining down on you. And, she will know that if Mackenzie Dern gets a takedown early on in any round, that's going to be a fucking problem. You don't want to be panicking and thinking about getting up. I'm sure they've got they've worked a lot on kind of staying calm, getting the best position, then working out to get up, how to defend different kind of things, like how to remove body locks and things, the right way to kind of go about defending shit. But the main thing is going to be your footwork has to be on point, so that you're not getting taken down easily. And if she does chase in for anything, it's telegraphed, it's from distance, you can defend it well. So you have to
balance, yeah.
Yeah, your footwork can only go so far, and at best, what you want to be doing is kind of pumping shots while you're almost kind of circling away and moving back, and just kind of keeping them at boxing range, but never really letting them get in on your hips or on your knees or anything.
Who's your pick?
Oh, it's Dern, it's Big Mac, but
okay.
I do think Overkill has got a shot at this one. It's just
I agree.
I think you just can't really make. If you make mistakes, they have to be late in the round.
All right. Okay. Opening the main card: Tim Means versus Alex Morono. I'm picking Alex Morono.
Yeah.
Bounce back after the disappointment against Pons.
Yeah, Morono typically only really loses to guys that are a lot bigger than him, and will have a lot of power. Means typically beats guys that kind of rely on their power or being a specialist and technically aren't that good at MMA. Morono's just a really bad matchup for Means. Means is a pretty favourable matchup for Morono. And watch him get starched in the first round and prove me wrong. These picks are not going well for us of late.
Very true. Okay, we're on to the prelims. Just the picks, please, so we can do these nice and quickly. Matt Brown versus Court McGee, Legends Battle.
Court McGee, hate doing it, but Court McGee.
Yeah, I'm picking Court as well. Carl Williams taking on Chase Sherman. I think I already know where you're going on this one.
Anyone but Chase.
I'm picking Carl Williams as well. Cody Stamen taking on Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Stamen.
I'm going Douglas Silva.
Nice. I didn't see that coming.
Ihor Potieria taking on Carlos Ulberg.
Ulberg.
I'm going Ulberg as well. Pete Rodriguez taking on Natan Levy. We were meant to get this fight.
Levy.
I picked Levy then. I'm picking Levy now. Ji Yeon Kim taking on Who Took the Bomb, Mandy Bomb.
Kim.
I'm going Mandy Bomb. Brian Battle versus Gabe Green.
Brian Battle.
I'm also going Brian Battle. And Jessica Rose Clark is back after the arm break, taking on newcomer Tinara Lisboa.
Jessica Rose Clark.
Yeah, I like a bit of Rose Clark. I'm going Rose Clark as well. Hopefully we can improve. We're very similar. So if we do badly, we're in it together. If we do well...
We've got 2 fights different on this
one. 2 fights different.
Okay.
And only on the main card. Guys, leave your own picks in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win. And enjoy the fights. We'll be back next week to discuss. Peace out, guys. Bye, Dave. Bye, Laurie. Bye, Trifo.
Bye, Laurie. Bye, Dave.